The fall of Weishaupt reverberated across the Fade, as did the fall of an archdemon. But unless I am mistaken, both Elganan and Gillenane yet stand.
We took down Gillenane's archdemon, but we weren't able to kill her.
And how are you doing?
By now, I'm more concerned with how the team is doing.
I expect their morale is shaken after what happened.
They've spent a lot of time yelling at each other. Or me.
Not the worst outcome, all things considered. Properly focused, that anger can forge your team into a weapon keen enough to cut through any obstacle. You cannot stand against Elganan and Gillenane with logic. Those motivated by greed or self-interest will change alliances, but those who serve you with passion and loyalty will follow wherever you lead, even to their deaths if necessary.
I'm not planning to order anyone to their deaths.
If you gain their loyalty, they will need no orders. They will volunteer.
I can't build these people up knowing I might have to send them to their deaths. There's always another option.
Perhaps you are right. Building your team is the best way to minimize the chance of such an order becoming necessary.
I'll keep that in mind. Do you have any suggestions on our next move against the gods?
If you oppose Elganan and Gillenane's minions, you will get your opportunity.
You think one of the Antam or Venatori commanders will help us find the gods?
Possibly. But more importantly, you will aggravate them. You rendered Gillenane mortal at Weishaupt. It is an embarrassment, an insult, neither she nor Elganan can ignore. If you continue to disrupt their plans, you will not need to track them down. They will come to you.
And then we get some payback for Weishaupt.
As long as you are ready when the opportunity comes. One final warning. You have survived a confrontation with Gillenane, which few still live to claim. But her power pales in comparison to Elganan's. If he takes the field himself, remember, in a fight such as ours, escaping to fight another day is a victory.
I need to get the team around the table and talk about what's next.
Careful with that.
But of course.
It's the only lead I've got.
My dear Davron, I'll be as careful with this cloth as if it were burial silk from the Storm Age. And this will be so instructive for Manfred. Ah, Rook, just in time.
The two of you together, this looks like trouble.
The beginnings of it, we hope.
That piece of cloth I tore off the Gloomhowler back at the Cauldron still has some of its blood on it.
And now, through the application of necromancy, perfected by the Mornwatch through years of meticulous...
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what the Gloomhowler is.
rather discern its nature.
How?
By setting it on fire?
Patience. To discern, one must sometimes destroy. Ah, yes, of course. How interesting.
What is it?
It says this was elven blood. This was a person.
What? But it howls.
A corrupted person. Not always a monster. And something else. Deathsel. I'm unfamiliar with the meaning.
An elven word for covenant. Like a promise or a blood oath. I think I get it. An elf who took a vow, then gets blighted. An elf who knew about griffins and warden's secrets.
Almost as if...
It was a warden.
I know this is bad, but it means we have a lead.
Yes, but one that points within.
If Weishaupt knew about it, they never told me. Something else is going on here. I'll put out the word, call in favors, see who might know more. But thanks for your help, Emmerich. You, discerned well.
My pleasure. It's the risk of the path we've chosen. Sorrow and anger waiting in abundance. Familiarity rarely dulls their teeth.
Right. Spend enough time as a warden and you'll see plenty of death. Thought I'd gotten used to it. But Weishaupt...
You blame yourself. If you'd been faster or fought harder. If you hadn't missed your best shot at the architect of all that misery.
You did your best. Both of you.
We all did. Just means our best must be better.
It will be. Next time, we'll be ready.
Count on it.
Seems like you're getting along now. Better than before, at least.
Lucanus is still an assassin. Kills people for money. No offense, Rook.
And Davrin's still self-righteous. Judgmental, too. Typical warden.
If we let that get in the way of stopping the gods...
We won't. We cannot.
If I hear that crap again...
You won't. What happened at the Cauldron put a lot of things into perspective. Like Emmerich said, we need to deal with our personal problems. So we're ready when we need to be.
Facing the gods while distracted will end us all.
I'm pleased my words provided clarity on how we all felt. Now, if I may suggest...
Rook, I've been looking for you.
Something wrong?
Evka sent word. They found something.
Right then. Rest of you, find Tash and Nev. Let's go see what the Wardens have to share.
This smells amazing. Does all coffee smell like this? Or just the stuff you make?
Coffee has a distinct aroma, if that's what you're asking.
Sorry. It was really rare where I grew up. And expensive.
Try everything once, that's what I say.
I want to, but sometimes I just like having what I like.
Nothing wrong with that. So, Harding, what do you think?
It's... delicious.
You don't have to pretend to like it.
I mean, it's good. It's nice and... warm?
Rook's right. You don't have to pretend. I won't be upset if you don't like coffee.
He really wouldn't.
I know, but... sorry. It's just this thing I do sometimes.
Acting so people will like you?
It sounds terrible when you say it like that. I know I don't need to do it. I just do.
Well, everyone you know seems to like you. So, you're good.
Good job, Lace.
You must have been pretty tiny as a child.
Where'd that come from?
A tiny dwarven girl in a land of large human farmers.
Oh, yeah. I probably learned pretty quick that things worked out better if people liked me. if they agreed with me, or I agreed with them.
Some people like cream or sugar in their coffee.
Maybe coffee just isn't my thing.
Another message asking for help dealing with Venatori. Let's get to it.
A dragon here?
Hey there. Hi. My shop's pretty new, but I've got armor, clothing. Come, take a look. Thanks so much.
In difficult times, we must surround ourselves with beauty. Prices are non-negotiable.
So you came in one morning and...
Here it is. The Black Emporium.
We have company!
This message. You're connected to the other candlehop we
Tell me
met.
I've misplaced another one. No matter.
You think what she was researching?
It's the reason she disappeared.
I've put everything into getting this space, and I'll get you into the right armor. Thanks. It's been hard since the dragon.
I have a cousin who lives in this part of town. Told me about the Archon's palace attacking the city.
Break those crystals. We need to get through that barrier.
Ship got in yesterday. Are the Venatori worse than you remember?
Huh. Some kind of fabulous treasure buried in the city.
Oh, that. A local myth. Turns up every few years. Details differ, but the essence remains the same. Though the cell's a little harder than usual. Watch your step.
Secretive Order loses Weishaupt. What else was lost there?
No one's making you stay.
What else can I do?
I can't believe how many people they executed. Oscar's disappearing from Docktown. Why? Something to look into.
Come to buy? I'm sure we can strike a deal. Please, return again.
You're thinking about it again.
What?
Gillenane. Playing...
Please, go on.
You're thinking about it again.
What?
Gillenane. Playing it over in your head won't change the ending.
I need to know what went wrong.
And the good of that game only lasts so long.
You're lecturing me about letting things go?
Oh, I'm awful at it. Of all my charming qualities, that's not the one to copy.
Marna's Paradance Act astounds audience. Vast mystery, secrets of the Viper, reliable source.
Cloth and leather, with all the fine touches. Whatever garment you desire, I'll stitch it right up.
Nev, if I asked what's bothering you, would I get an answer?
Aelia says Minrathous is broken, and I've called it the same, but I don't like it that way.
Are you worried about what some Venatori said? Don't let her get under your skin.
I know. You know, when you were assassinating all those Venatori, it's too bad Aelia missed the list.
Say the word, then I'll make up for it this time.
Why don't you care about
it? Caring would be pointless.
Those missing buskers performed here. Let's see what we can find. Wine. A lot of it.
Silent plains beget. Only Venatori would drink that swill.
They were here for a while, drinking. Waiting for... what? Let's check outside. See where they went. Wine. Probably a cheap vintage. Not the same as the wine inside. I think the buskers... That's blood. Did one of the buskers get hurt? No busker would leave their instrument behind. The strings are broken. Somebody knocked this instrument around. All right. The Venatori are drinking inside. They have a signal for when the buskers finish. The buskers go outside for a drink, they're distracted, then the Venatori ambush them and haul them away. So we don't know why yet, but we know where the buskers were taken. The lookout.
Cobbled Swan denies problem with press.
You've never said where you're from.
Ducktown. Aren't you on? Danger below the streets. Dark spawn in the catacombs.
Let's find those buskers. Stay ready, though. The Venatori are playing. Still warm. Whoever was on watch just left. Dead. He's Venatori, not one of the buskers.
Stabbed in the back. Poorly.
Empty. Where are they? A restaurant pamphlet. The garden. It mentions performers.
Carelessness or a trap? Maybe both.
We could approach the garden from the rooftops. That'll give us some cover. We still need to save the buskers. But if this is a trap, let's be smart about it.
Nev, tell... The Shadow Dragons to consider any supplies they need already paid for, and I'll cut down what Venatori I can.
You don't have to.
It could have been Treviso. Consider this done.
damage the palace did to us. You know, I did find something behind her desk.
Nice move.
Venatori, not far from the garden. That's not a coincidence. Let's go in and see if there's any sign of what happened to the buskers.
There's a problem.
Someone wasn't spending much on their wine.
A drink to take your mind off the world's troubles.
Up there. Everything built up around the docks here.
How about a sandwich? Soaks up the local ale. Some days we have a mystery stew.
What can I get you?
Have you seen any buskers from Docktown today?
Ha! I heard those songbirds had gone missing.
The Venatori had plans. I set them straight.
We followed a lead here. So could the Venatori.
All right. They're below. Just make it quick before someone sees you.
Hello? Who goes there? So, are you a fellow felon?
Call me Rook. I've been looking for missing buskers.
Lex Aulos, street balladeer, and sworn enemy of the Venatori, apparently.
How did you piss them off?
Well, say I'd composed a catchy but searing satirical ballad with rhymes for vainglory and excretory. And then Tot said ballad to every performer in town.
And that would do it.
Well, thanks to you and the owner's entirely legitimate seaway access, we live to compose another day. Perhaps it's time we take our act on the road. This city's a lot grimmer lately. Adieu, Rook. We'll sing your praises.